with Islamic extremists.
And whipped them up all day and whipped them up, and it just reminded me of something that might have been out in the Middle East in, say, Iran. The way they were whipped up into a frenzy, and it's not rocket science. You know, you whip up somebody up into a frenzy, it takes them a long time to come back down again, especially if they're standing in a group of 500. So they were well orchestrated, they knew what was going on that day, and we were protesting peacefully, and when we got our banners out, it was obvious then
we weren't racist.
The BNP hadn't come to town, it was just a group of people that got together, they'd had enough, they were on the cutting edge of things, and I'm asking the big question that no one else is asking.
Stop what is going on in our country. Someone stop it. How are you allowing fanatical extremists to stand in our city centres? Our soldiers are out dying by the numbers every single day, getting blown up, fighting in foreign land, and there are people standing in Britain recruiting to kill us and sending things out to the enemy to kill us. They are committing treason in our streets, and we all stand there. Everyone's been saying it for 10 donkey's years. Who's going to stop this? Why are the British government not stopping it? The police are too scared of them. No one's stopping it. So we come out and united together in a way of saying, right, we want to be a voice against these extremists. And what they try to do is physically attack us into scaring us into silence. So we now should be, we're going back to Birmingham. We'll be back there on the 5th of September, and we'll be there. Our numbers will double, our numbers will treble. And if it sparks riots, then because they try and attack us again, it sparks riots. But we're not going to be. We're not going to be scared into silence.
We're going to be demonstrating peacefully.
We'll be peaceful. Our last protest was peaceful. You can see the videos of it on the internet. You can see the videos of it on our website, English Defence League.
We're a peaceful group.
We're a peaceful group.
Like the great Martin Luther King, like Gandhi, we'd rather follow their doctrines than preachers of hate doctrines. We are peaceful, and we believe these balaclavas that protect our lives are no more sinister than the veil. And that's what we believe, but we are a peaceful group, and we do follow the great peaceful leaders in our time, like I said, Martin Luther King. Gandhi, all the great leaders, all the great leaders of the people, and that is the route we want to take, and we reserve the right, living in a democratic country, to stand there and demonstrate peacefully without being attacked like we were on the streets of Birmingham.
And on the streets of Birmingham, they arrested 34 of our protesters. 34 for nothing. For nothing. They arrested 21 in one group as they come off the train. What they've done is we went up there. They held us in a car park for 4 hours. They took our shoes off. This is when we got to Birmingham, and we're there for a peaceful protest, our democratic right to stand and protest. They stopped all of our groups from entering into the city. So they blocked the train stations, they blocked the bus stations, and any groups who were coming in to support us, they basically held and detained for 4 hours, 5 hours. They just arrested them. And then what they've done is they allowed the Muslims to meet up in massive numbers, arm themselves with weapons through no police. There was no police presence to stop them. They stopped us, and then they let them just rampage through. And now there are pictures everywhere of them attacking innocent people. And we all know none of them are going to be arrested. They were burning the British flag in the middle of Birmingham city centre. Now you reverse the roles and say the English Defence League did go to Birmingham and started innocently jumping on Muslims' heads and burning Pakistani flags. The whole country would be uproar. Now our people, British people, have been attacked because they are non-Muslim in Birmingham by extremists who are funded by our government. It's ludicrous and it's mad to even talk about it, but it is going on and it's a fact. And what we're trying to do now is we've gone from Luton, we've now gone to Birmingham. Our support is getting massive in Birmingham. Our numbers are doubling, trebling. We know that by the time we go to Manchester, which is up the north of England, and protest there, our support will be massive because we are talking sense. There's nothing. People may want to stop us and silence us, but from what? From saying get terrorists off our streets. This is Britain. This is England. This is not Pakistan. We're not conforming to your law. You're coming here and conforming to our law. Where's the sense? We know we're talking sense. We know we're talking pro-government, pro-law. They completely disregard our law. So we're living in a two-rule society. It's one rule for Muslims and one rule for us. And we feel in towns where you like Luton, where you have got massive Muslim populations, the non-Muslims are being oppressed. We are being oppressed. We're being treated unfairly all the time.
Yeah, and the MPs will not sort of speak up for us because they want the block Islamic
They want the
vote.
Islamic vote, yeah. So
they've been held to ransom basically because they're going to lose the total.
in the town of Luton, where we've got 15 mosques, all the mosques can come together, they've got one voice, 50,000 Muslims, you will vote for Labour. Okay, we'll build another 5 mosques and we'll do whatever you want, as long as you vote for Labour. They'll then come out and they'll vote for Labour. So we're losing because of that. We're losing all the time, but
it doesn't help when history states the extreme left overthrow the status quo, and they always align themselves with groups that are sympathetic towards that cause too. And Birmingham that day, on the 8th of August, the extreme left aligned themselves against the extremists, against British people, because they want revolution, and that's what they want. So
and after our first protest, which is in Birmingham, which was a peaceful protest, there was no racism, there was nothing. There was just a chance of we want our country back and get terrorists off our streets, etc. The next week, all these Muslim MPs across the whole of Birmingham come out in the papers saying we need to stop the English Defence League coming back to Birmingham. We need to stop these casual knives. Now, where the hell were all of these Muslim MPs when 11-year-old Sean was being converted to Islam in the middle of a city centre under a banner saying Jesus was a Muslim? Where were they? They weren't coming out condemning it. They weren't saying nothing. It's the point entirely. They don't come out and condemn their own. No, even if they believe they're wrong, they don't come out and say it.
How did they get the 11-year-old boy off the street?
They stand there. They had a big stall, loads of Islamic men. They're giving out literature on Islam, but it's not. The point of it is that.
But where were the parents?
The parents weren't there. He's just 11 years old, shopping. He's in the city centre with his friends. No parents. He's just out.
He's out with his friends.
But you've let your child.
There's all CCTV'd up. It's generally a safe. Assuming it's safe, so you just let your child go down and do a little bit of shopping. When I was 11 and 12, it was. My town was. I could go down to town centre at 11. Now you have to run a call how much you're doing.
And the point being that these Islamists. If a moderate Muslim would convert an 11-year-old child without his parents' permission, it's wrong. But when a fanatical jihadist is converting an 11-year-old, grooming him to be some fanatical suicide bomber or whatever, then how is that happening in our city centres, in full view of our police? They're allowing it. And there's no... when they've done the demonstrations against the soldiers, if we didn't unite on the streets and show a force and say we're not allowing it, then what's next? Will they be at our soldiers' funerals? If we don't stop them from taking our children in our city centres like Birmingham, what's next? Are they going to come in our houses and take our children? If there's no force to stop them, because the British police aren't stopping them, they should be arrested, thrown in cells, bring back internment. You speak up and start inciting people against our country and against our soldiers, put them in a jail cell, deport them. They shouldn't be here. They've got no right to be here. So people who've got sons and daughters fighting in the British Army, getting killed, leaving orphans and children to no families, and you've got people gloating, standing, supporting Al Qaeda in the same city, living round the corner from them. We're living with an enemy within who hate everything about us, and everything this great country stands for. They oppose it. So leave it. And if the British government, if they took the stance of arresting them and dealing with them how they should be dealt with as jihadists, fanatical racists and extremists, they should be dealt with that. If they took that, there would be no English Defence League, because we would have no need. But the point is, we've got children. This is we've got children. It's our children's future. The future I see for my children growing up in a place like Luton is bad. It's very bad, being non-Muslim. I can see it, and that's why so many people now in Muslim areas are just conforming to Islam. They're converting. You see the conversion rates yourself. Because if you can't beat it, join it.
You haven't got the finances to leave that area.
And the other thing they do is they get it's all in the prisons. They convert in the prisons. So what they do is they already know that generally people in prison are prepared to break the law. They are proportionally mad because they're in jail, so they don't care about the law anyway. So if they can convert them sort of people into Islam, then they have got an army of already...
Well, which they've got in Luton, they're called the Mad Mullahs. They call them the Mad Mullahs, and they're all converts, and everyone knows that the converts are always the most keenest to prove themselves. And that's why they converts. If you're going to fear anybody, you fear the converts, because they're the ones